Hello, hello. Welcome to my Friday stream. My name is Lucas. I'm the studio director at Silver String Media. We're a small indie game studio focusing on narrative games. Last year we released our first major title called Glitchhikers: The Spaces Between, and we're doing some streaming now. I started a couple months ago doing regular Friday streams here, and Happy New Year. We're back, and we're gonna keep going with what we were doing. So thank you for joining us for the stream. If you're new, please give us a follow. We really appreciate it. But yeah, we're gonna play some games, and hopefully in the next few months we're gonna start doing some additional streams. Bring on some of the other team to do some fun stuff, whether it's games or music or all sorts of stuff. So we're excited to do that. But in the meantime, I'm gonna play some I Was a Teenage Exocolonist for the next couple of hours, continuing what I've been calling my Delusions run. So I'm gonna jump right in. Last time I played, which was 2 weeks ago, some stuff happened. We are in year 7. My Solane character is 16 years old. The second colony ship has arrived. Things have been happening, but the main thing that I've been trying to focus on in this run, something that I haven't done in previous runs, is lean into the Delusions. So if you don't know Exocolonist, I Was a Teenage Exocolonist has this awesome narrative and gameplay mechanic where you can remember your past lives, which means it actually, replaying the game actually gives you additional benefits, and that you can remember things that happened in previous playthroughs, and that can help change the course of things and have things go a little bit better for you in theory. But there's these opportunities to try to convince people that you're seeing, these other lives or the future or whatever. And it has resulted in this particular playthrough at the end of last session with what I can only describe as an intervention. My parents and the chief engineer instance were worried about me for continuing to spout off about these delusions, and basically lobotomized me a little bit, such that I can no longer remember any of my dreams, any of them, which includes my dreams of other lives. And when I first realized that was happening last time I played, my mind first went just to sort of the narrative implications, like, oh, that's wild. What does that mean for how this is going to play out? And then I realized how much there are actually also very important gameplay mechanical implications as well, because I don't think I'm going to have access to any of my memories of past lives for dialogue options and stuff anymore. So we're gonna have to see how that plays out. This is new territory for me. This is my third full-time playing through the game, and I've never had this happen before. So we're gonna see how that plays out over the next little bit. But narratively, one of the things that I think I'm gonna lean into a bit, because I wanted to use this playthrough to be an opportunity to make friends with some of the characters that I haven't made friends with before, including Vase, who's sort of on the fascist side, and thus I've never made friends with him before, and I think one of the things that's going to happen is I think I don't really trust my parents or Chief Engineer Instance anymore after the terrible thing that they just did to me, and so I'm gonna throw my lot in pretty hard with Vase and the stratospheric fascists and such. So we're gonna see how that plays out. We are halfway through the year, having just had that whole lobotomy thing happen. First month of Dust. And so normally I just go around and see if anyone has anything that they want to chat about. I might give out some gifts to get my friendships up with folks. I definitely want to get my friendship with Vase up, and as well as Nomi and Rex, since they're new. I should probably also get my friendship with Mars up some more. I like having that be a little higher. And then Anemone is the other character that I've never gotten full friendship with before. And somebody has a birthday in early Dust. Oh, shit. I know people's birthdays because of memories, including memories of past lives when I found out what their birthdays were. And those also have been wiped from me for this playthrough, which I was not expecting. That's wild. That's wild. I am going to just quickly look up a couple of them just because I don't want to miss, especially Anemone and Vase. Exocolonist birthdays. I was not expecting that to be one of the things that happened. That's fantastic. Anemone is Dust 1. Good, so I need to remember that. Vase isn't until Wet 2. Cool. Alrighty. Well, this is interesting. So, let's see how people are doing. Hey, heads up! You barely manage to find cover as water arcs over your head. You look around and Cal waves sheepishly, a garden hose in his other hand. He's surrounded by kids who are hooting and cheering for him to turn the hose on them again. Sorry, he calls out. I guess it got away from me. Nice. I don't think I need to... No, I have pretty good friendship with Cal, so I think I'll leave that for now, not waste too many items. Let's see what's out here. Dis is out here. Dis jumps out of the bed of an expedition's transport, slapping it fondly on the roof before turning to you. He looks uncommonly comfortable in his skin. Hey, Solane, he says. It was a good day out there. He doesn't elaborate. Nice. Yes, absolutely, Sai. Facebook reminding birthdays is very useful. Rex looks around the colony, scratching idly behind his ear. When he sees you, he smiles so wide his tongue lolls out of his mouth. Hey, Solane, what you got going on? So I already hugged him this month, because I decided I needed a hug after the events of last session. But let's give him a present. Rex beams with happiness as you hand over the mushwood. What? Really, really? He exclaims. I need this for building the bar. Thank you so much. Rex shoots you a shy smile. Nothing a dog likes more than a stick, right? Tammy. Tammy is listening to her holospheak, eyes closed and swaying to the music only she can hear. You tap her on the shoulder and she jumps. Oh, hello, Solane. Did you need something? How's my friendship with Tammy right now? Not bad, but let's see if I can get that up. Oh, I have tons of yellow flowers. She likes those. Thank you so much, Solane. These are my absolute favorite, especially the yellow ones. And Nomi. You guys don't have to worry with us around, Nomi says proudly. It's super great that we showed up when we did, right? Now the colony can protect itself, and the people on the Helio who didn't want to be soldiers, Nomi gestures at themselves, well, we don't have to be. Give you a crystal, I know you like crystals. Nomi makes a sound of appreciation and holds the crystal up to the light. What? It makes rainbows? It's perfect. Thank you so much. Ooh, and a new event with them. Nomi is camped out in the lounge, their holopad screens spread out before them like a drawing table. In another screen, there's a collection of photos of a manticore. Nomi looks between the two screens, their brow furrowed in concentration as they scribble directly onto the screen with a stylus. Well, Nomi replies thoughtfully, I wanted to write and illustrate a story about aliens, like in Turbo Girl Hyperjet Transform, except using the Xenos here on Vertumna, like manticores and faceless and stuff. But they can talk, and instead of attacking the colony, they help people instead. That sounds cool. Let's do it. Thanks, Nomi chirps, scribbling happily in other drawing. I got the idea from the second Turbo Girl Hyperjet OVA, you know? The one where the Medusa demons show up and the aliens and the Turbo Girls have to band together to defeat their common enemy? Sure, I remember that part. Nomi looks up at you with a start. Oh, they exclaim. That reminds me. So, I'm trying to brush up on my Xeno anatomy, and I'm totally fine with writing, but they blow out a big breath, ruffling their bangs. I kind of haven't been here long enough to make sure it feels right, you know? To make it go pop. And I want to make sure I'm being, you know, sensitive about stuff I don't know a lot about. So I was wondering, could you help me with some of the world building? So I don't have the creativity to do that, but yeah, I can try. You spend an enjoyable afternoon helping Nomi with their story. When you're done, they give you a big hug and thank you profusely for your help. It's my friendship with Tang. Also not super high. I haven't been focusing on that, certainly. Tang is sitting just outside the laboratory, her eyes closed and her head swaying to music only she can hear. You tap her on the shoulder and she jumps. Oh, Solane, she says, gesturing to turn off her Here Speak. I was simply taking a mental break. The brain may not be a muscle, but it does need rest like one. She Sure, let's also give you some gifts here. I suppose this might be of scientific interest, Tang says, analyzing the flower. She pulls a petal off and looks at it. Yes, I'll have to take a look at this under a microscope. She turns to walk away, then remembers herself. Thank you, she adds, almost as an afterthought. There's an anemone, and it's her birthday. You spot Nem talking to Vase. He smiles warmly and claps her on the shoulder, and she goes red, stammering out a goodbye as he walks away. Oh, hey, Selene, she says when you approach. So I know you like eggs. I need to find out what else you like, but I know you like eggs. Cool, thanks, Nem says, taking the egg. I guess it is my birthday this week. I kind of forgot. So now does that bring... Oh, that's weird. So even though I just discovered that this was in fact her birthday and that she likes eggs, it hasn't actually updated to tell me that. Maybe I'll just be without all of that information for the rest of this playthrough. Interesting. And Vase. Have I talked to everyone else? No, I haven't talked to... Where's Mars? Did I talk to Mars? Mars must be up here. Yeah. Mars throws a bulging tote bag onto the ground. Out with the old, she announces. All of these are ready for the textiles recycler. If you want to go through them, go for it. They're all so last season, so they're perfect for someone who doesn't really get fashion. Like you! I can't wait to get some new clothes. It feels like I've been wearing the same thing for years. Oh, Mars. I can't remember. I think she also likes flowers, and I have a lot of those, so... Let's do, yeah. She holds the flower up to look at it. A flower? A cheap gift, but I suppose it will look good in my hair. Thank you. Alright, Vase. How you doing? You're pretty good friends with Rex, aren't you? Vase asks, giving you a once-over. He must not like what he sees. I wouldn't go around telling everyone that. It might not work out great for you. Just a bit of friendly advice. Sounds so friendly. But I will give him some strange devices. Vase turns the strange device over and over in his hands. Know thy enemy, he says in a low growl. Alright, and what is that? Bring me to 17. Right. So I do want to really focus in on that now, I think, and so I'm going to focus on doing some of these garrison activities. I'm still okay on stress for a few more months, so I want to do whatever's going to give me the most friendship with Vase, which is going to be just defense training, it looks like. +2 combat, perfect. +1 animals, also good. Excellent. Rhett pairs you off to practice your sparring, partnering you with Vase. You don't know Vase very well, but from the look of him, he seems like someone who'd like to use your face as a lesson. You see him posturing and preening for the other kids from the Helio, and for a handful of colony kids too, especially Nem. Fight vicious and dirty. Now, I will fight honestly, even though that might not go well for me. Okay, so this is a story event, so 3 rounds of cards. Started with some good ones. That'll be useful. That's terrible. That's not great either, but let's start with that, because that'll get a bonus. Throw that in there. And, well, I'll do this low wild card so that I don't lose that bonus. And I should look at the flush. Oh, I don't have the right things equipped either. Oops, I really need, I really need my sun medallion on. That's too bad. So we'll do that. We'll do that. Get a nice pair. I'm going to save that to turn all of these yellows to red. And then just do something like that, I guess. A couple pairs. Yeah, this is going to be tough, but I might have to use some items. So, that's good. That's good. We'll do that. Then, if I do, oh, that'll, right, those will get plussed. So I think that'll probably be, yeah, so that gets me over the edge, which is wonderful. Of course, I could have done better. I always could do better. But I succeeded. Oh, and I lost friendship with Vase for that. Okay. Vase isn't expecting much from you, so he just wants to kill me, I guess. His bravado crumples within the first few seconds, but those seconds of overconfidence cost him. You quickly get on the offensive, and clearly, defense isn't Vace's strongest skill. You get him to the mat so fast, it's embarrassing. When you let him up, he stalks away without even saying a word. Okay, well, I don't want to rub it in. Flirt with Anemone. I don't want to know. Be a gracious winner. If Vace wants to play it like that, fine. Maybe he'll think twice before mouthing off again. Well, it didn't work out the way I was hoping it would, but that's okay. We'll keep going. Oh, and it's Vertimalia. Excellent. Everyone's in high spirits as you decorate the colony square. The great tables are piled high with food, groaning under the weight of heaps of roasted and steamed vegetables, barbecued meat, stews, carafes of mulled cider, and cakes dripping with frosting and sugarbug syrup. You gather in the colony square for the usual speeches. Lum takes the stage to fanfare and applause. "Hello, people of Vertumna!" he exclaims over the din. "Happy Vertumnalia!" He takes a big theatrical breath. "Do you smell that? That's the smell of victory. We humans have secured our hold on this planet, and now it's time to celebrate." Lum gestures to the sagging feast tables. "Eat, drink, and be merry!" The crowd cheers again. After the council members each give their annual reports. Sorry, I clicked through there. Everyone starts clearing the square to set up for the Vertumalia Games. You feel the pulse of a new holo message in your palm and open it up to read. "Happy Vertumalia, there's a present for you on the table, XOXO, your secret admirer." You rush over to the feast table and spot a wrapped present in amongst the roasted vegetables. Wow, you have a secret admirer. You unwrap your present. It's a databand. You snap it onto your wrist and boot it up to your holopalm. It's full of all your favorite songs, videos, shows, and games. A collection curated by someone who must really know you. Now you'll always have your media with you, even if the net goes down, including all your favorite episodes of The Rise and Fall of Sanctuary Moon. Nice! You search the holopalm for any hint as to who could have made it, but you can't find anything. You'll have to ask around, but later. The games are about to begin. So I think it's usually sent, well, I usually get it from Dis, because I usually have the highest friendship with Dis, is I think how that works. And 85 with Anemone, so I guess it possibly could be Anemone, but I know she has a thing for Vase, so maybe not. I'm guessing it's Dis again this time. You assemble with the other kids for the annual games. What do you choose this year? I mean, I think we always have to go with the strength-based ones for this, so let's do some Xeno wrangling. Yeah, so that gets me that friendship back with Vase. Nem and Vase are your competitors this year. They've both been training hard. It can't be any harder than wrestling you, Vase says, and Nem goes red and punches him in the arm. The people watching gasp as the animal is brought up from the pens. It's a Unisaur, and a starving one from the looks of it. It growls and snaps its teeth at its handlers. Full Unisaurs are docile creatures. Hungry Unisaurs are mindless rage machines. They eat like snakes, swallowing large prey whole and using their inner mouths to rip it up. This one is hungry enough to swallow you whole if it catches you. Luckily, this one looks so hungry that it's weaker than usual to give competitors a chance. Wrangle that Xeno! Alright, another one of these. Oh, and I forgot to equip my thing again. Gotta do that. Getting your butt kicked. Card gets +3. Interesting. Neighbor does value. So if I make that, that'll make the neighbor 7, and I can do something like that. Good start. Ooh, meeting the Overseer. Huge points there. Which will overrule that one, so maybe I'll save that for the last round. This one for each gem. Those are all gem-based, but I only have the one gem card. So if I do something like that, or if I do, nope, because that'll be, because I don't want that to be that high. That's too bad. Probably just something like that. Alright, need to get 40. Oh good, I got my all cards become red. That'll help a lot. Something like that, something like that. I did use my gems, so I don't have that. Just something like that, probably. Yeah, it's good enough at least. One lower than I could have gotten. Lassoing the Unisaur is relatively easy, but you end up running around forever trying not to get skewered by its horn. You have to yank hard on the rope to wear it down before you can even try to ride it. There are a few moments where you realize your life is in actual danger. This Unisaur is no joke. You end up wounding the Unisaur with your clumsy attempts to wrestle it, but you didn't want to die. What were you supposed to do? It's sad. After the festivities, everyone descends on the feast. You keep your plate with more food than you could eat in 3 sittings. When all the food is gone and the sunset has broken the heat of day, people break out their instruments. Everyone dances well into the night. Mid-dust. Now, was there a mid-dust birthday? I have to check this again. Dust 2, yes. Oh, Nomi is mid-dust. Good to know. Oh, right, but I have to figure out who my secret admirer is. So I think I want to ask Anemone first, just because she's the other one that has a high friendship with me right now. You catch Nem between drills, leaning her elbows against the garrison fence. She takes a swig of her canteen and pours it over herself to cool down. Hey, Selene, she says, shaking out her hair. What's going on? Someone gave you a data band. It might have been Nem. Are you my secret admirer? Nem giggles nervously. Gross, she says. Not a chance, Selene. Brutal. Alright, so I think it's probably Dis then. So I'll just go find him. Hey, Dis. You find Dis loading some equipment into an expeditions vehicle. He nods at you as you approach before going back to his work. Someone gave you a data band. It might have been Dis. Dis doesn't meet your eyes. So what if I was? Don't make a big deal about it. In previous games, when I've romanced Dis, I would certainly go with that one. But I don't want to go that direction this time. I want to be good friends with him, but I'm not going to go that direction, so I won't. Good, Dis says, and throws the rest of the gear into the vehicle. He skitters away before he has to endure this conversation any longer. Poor, awkward Dis. Alright, let's get a birthday present for Nomi. Nomi pushes their sketchbooks and things to the side and gestures for you to sit down. I'm so used to people not sitting with me because I talk so much, they say, without a hint of shame. I get it, I'm just a super high-energy person. Always have been, ever since I was a kid. If I bother you, just tell me to be quiet. I don't mind. Present for ya. Boom. Ooh, Nomi exclaims, making grabby hands at the pretty crystal. Happy birthday to me! I can't believe you remembered. Thank you. So I just want to see, is it still not showing me... Yeah, so it's still not showing me. That's interesting. So I've already given Vase a gift, so I think that's it for gift giving. And I think I'm just going to keep doing these to build up that friendship for now. Security Chief Rhett interrupts your afternoon training to address the group. Nem perks up. This seems important. Since the original colony was destroyed, Rhett begins, we have needed every skilled security officer we can find to defend our home. And now with Governor Lum's blessing, age is no longer a requirement. We are looking... Oops. Clicking accidentally. We are looking for young recruits to join the ranks of the defense squads. This is a serious job. He punches his hand for emphasis. Sorry. This is a serious job. You'll be soldiers, not little kids learning self-defense or peering down from the safety of the walls. You will be in danger. You need to be brave and know your way around a weapon. Step forward if you think you have what it takes to defend our colony. I'm definitely going to do that. When Rhett smiles, it's not a happy smile. But do you have what it takes to survive? Yes, I do, and I'm ready to serve. Rhett nods. Okay, you're in. See you at dawn, recruit. Unlocked guard duty in the garrison. Excellent. So a new garrison activity to do. 5 kudos of total equals goal. Excellent. I love these ones. Oh, I got all these red cards. Alright, well, we'll do that. We'll do that. We'll do that. We'll do... that. 34. All right, if I do that, 31. 31. Might not be able to do this one with all of these. With all these red cards. Because in order to avoid, I guess let's try it with just all of the lowest cards. 3, 5, 5, 6, 6. Still 40. To avoid getting huge bonuses, I need to not use all of my cards, which means I need to do it with the highest cards. If I do something like that. 32. I think that might be the closest I can get. So I might just have to win this one. 50. Well, that was the highest I could get. Excellent. So at least I got one kudos bonus from it. 5 combat. 1 animals. That's getting up there. Some friendship. And into Lake Dust. Let's see if anyone has anything else to say. It is Cal's birthday this month. And I forget how much exploration I did this year. So let me just check in on what the ridge is like. 0 events remaining. Okay, so I fully explored Survey the Ridge. There is a new boss event there, but I'm not sure I want to do that. I can't remember what that one is. Forge the Valley, Survey the Plains. So I've done those. But I only really need to do that if I need to get more collectibles, I think. I think I'll stay and just do more stuff with Face. You look high and low for Cal, but you can't find him anywhere. You're about to give up when you hear a curious sound from the gardening shed, followed by the trill of Tammy's laughter. You knock on the door that's been left slightly ajar, just in time to see Cal jump away from Tammy, who's seated on the work table. Tammy giggles nervously and smooths down her skirts, and Cal rubs the back of his neck. Wah, wah, wah. Hey, Solane, Cal stammers. I was just showing Tammy, this. He picks up one of the gardening tools and brandishes it at you. Tammy goes red and tugs her ear, humming, mm-hmm. Yes, I'm sure that's the tool you were showing her, Cal. Oh, wow, that looks delicious, Cal exclaims. Thanks for the birthday gift, Solane. You know I love to eat. I'll leave them to their shenanigans. Alright, let's try out this guard duty. What does it give? Combat, bravery, friendship with Vase. Lots of kudos. Lots of stress. Is that the normal amount of stress? That seems like, yeah, that's more stress than normal, which is interesting. Bravery, combat. I do want to get animals still, so the defense training might still be good, though I guess I'll get some more animals from exploring later. So let's try guard duty, since we just unlocked it. Look at everyone. You show up for orientation to guard duty. Vase and Nem are here as well, listening intently to Security Chief Rhett as he teaches you the specifics of the colony's defenses. There's the walls, of course, and the lookout towers and the robotic turrets. There are obvious weaknesses like the gates, and less obvious ones like the pipes that divert runoff water away from the colony. And there are high-priority targets like engineering and geoponics. You're surprised to learn that the living quarters are considered lower priority. Duh, Vase mutters. During an attack, everyone's supposed to be defending the colony, not hiding under their beds. Okay, we have children here, though, Vase. It's a lot to learn quickly, and Rhett doesn't let you make mistakes. He drills you and drills you, first on your knowledge of the colony, and then on actual drills, physical fitness and reflexes, loading and firing a plas rifle, securing a dangerous situation, and combat tactics, both as a group and solo. If the lookouts on the walls see anything, you'll be the ones to shoot it, he says, as you struggle with reloading the cartridge in your plas rifle. There might not be time to wait for backup. You have to be able to make and act on the right choice without hesitation. He looks you right in the eye. You're not only a guard while you're on duty, he says seriously. You are being charged with the defense of the colony itself. I expect you to be ready at all times to answer the call. Frustrated, you fumble the cartridge and it clatters to the ground. Rhett stops it under his foot. No slacking. Keep your mind and body sharp and ready for anything. Rhett leaves you to figure out how to reload your plas rifle on your own. Vase is already finished, of course, but Nem stops what she's doing to help you. There's a latch here, she says, flicking it with her thumb. If it's deployed, you can't click the cartridge in. Got it? You nod. It's easy when someone actually shows you how. I want to make Rhett proud someday. Nem laughs and claps you on the back. Yeah, he's just a big teddy bear, right? She finishes her reload and shoulders her rifle, and then she and Vase leave together. Alrighty. Should be pretty easy. I say, but I always miss something. Card gets +2. No, because it's getting a +1, so card gets well, value is wild, that'll do it. That'll get up to a 6. Well, it's the straight, but yeah, the straight's giving me a bunch of points, so I think I'll just do that. Well, that becomes an 8, cool. And +2 for each one, that's why. And of course, lots of stress, lots of kudos. Alright, and into wet. I got a new event with Vase. I assume friendship has gone up. Yeah, finally hit 20. Really got to get that higher soon. There's a bobber fruit to pick up. And then early wet. I think this is also somebody's birthday. I think early wet is Mars. Because late wet is Tang and Dis. And mid wet is Vase, I think, right? Did I get that right? Yeah. So yeah, just going to keep taking it easy for the rest of this year. No big exploration and stuff since I did that earlier in the year. So I think I'll just keep making friends with Vase here. I'm trying to. You arrive outside the garrison just as you spy a small unit of young Helio trainees finishing their daily run around the colony. Vase is easily in the lead. You swing yourself up onto the fence and watch as the group breaks up into pairs for the next drill. As unit leader, Vase goes around and corrects everyone's forms and checks in on them before he spots you and trots over. "What's up, colony kid?" he says, wiping his forehead. His training shirt clings to his chest, damp with sweat and showing off his muscles. "Miss you out there today. You should come for a run sometime." "Yeah, sure. You couldn't keep me away." "Hell yeah," Vase says, bumping his fist into yours. "Every day at first sunrise. If you're late, you have to run it twice." "I've been trying to get the other colony kids out here," Vase continues. "On the Helio, we were raised to believe that physical exertion does more than build muscles. It helps you think more clearly and boosts your immune system, too." He clenches his fist. "Not only that, but it strengthens the bond between brothers. It turns men into heroes." Sure, Vase. Vase looks like a hero, you think. Even just standing there, he has the same kind of presence as action heroes in the old vids from Earth. He's so confidently in his element that everything he does looks effortless. You can't imagine him skinning his knee or having his voice crack or tripping over his feet, all three of which have happened to you this week. "Yeah, we can flirt with Vase. Whatever you're doing, you look good." Vase smirks and props his elbow on the fence, leaning into your space. "Yeah? You're digging all this, huh? You talking about my favorite subject, baby." He holds your eye for a few moments, unashamed. Vase picks up his water bottle and takes a big swig, rinsing out his mouth before spitting into the dirt. "Not everyone's cut out to be a soldier," he says. "I mean, if we don't have civilians like Tammy out there keeping the hearth, who are we going to protect? And where would we be without people like Tangent, giving us the intel we need?" He shrugs. "And Emily's pretty cool. She's got the right idea. And that Cal guy, he's got the muscle, but..." Val's confidence -1 to neighboring cards. "Ooh, great. If making friends with him." Vase shakes his head with a snort. "Honestly, you all lack the discipline." Sure, Vase. Whatever you say. Early wet, I said it was Mars's birthday. Same as before. Let's get rid of the flower. "Well, I've had better birthday gifts," Mars sighs, rubbing one of the petals, "but this will look nice in my hair, I think. Thank you." Alrighty, yeah, I'm just gonna... Oh, actually, should I do... It's a new season, so I can do additional presents. I'll wait for Vase's birthday next month. Well, I should do both if I can. But I don't have tons of collectibles left. I have 4 strange devices. Probably go exploring again early next year. Maybe the new event will open up. Give him cake on his birthday, maybe. Yeah, let's give him a strange device. Vase is about 2 clicks removed from flat out ignoring you. "Go bother Rex if you like him so much," he snaps. "Just don't believe anything he says about me. You don't know the whole story, and he'll lie to anyone to make himself look good." The whole story about what there, Vase? "Know thy enemy." I do want to keep making friends with Rex and Nomi. Rex peers out from under an awning at the torrential rain. I learned my lesson last year. If I go out in that, it'll smell like wet dog for hours and hours, he pouts. You got anything fun we can do while we wait for the rain to stop? Oh, new event with Rex too. You follow the sounds of laughter and find Nomi and Rex playing catch. Or maybe the word for the game they're playing is more like fetch. Nomi throws the ball as far as they can, and Rex tears after it, climbing and leaping over anything in his way like it's not even there. Rex hands the ball back to Nomi, and Nomi winds up to throw it again, but at the last second they palm the ball and hide it under their arm. Rex barrels off away from Nomi with his ground-eating stride and gets pretty far away before he stops and looks around confused. He looks back at Nomi, who waggles the ball at him and bursts out laughing. "Nomi!" he shouts, running back to them. He picks them up and hauls them over his shoulder, and Nomi shrieks with delight as Rex spins them around. Two Helio kids in their crisp uniforms pass by, glaring archly at Nomi and Rex. Rex sets Nomi down and then spots you over Nomi's shoulder. "Well, hey there, it's Elaine," he says, and Nomi turns around and gives you a stunningly bright smile. Rex slings his arm over Nomi, and Nomi lays their head on his shoulder. They're both breathless and beaming with happiness. I know they're not dating. What's the deal with your Helio friends? Rex and Nomi look at each other and stick out their tongues. "They aren't our friends," Rex replies, shrugging. "All they want to do is act like mindless little soldiers and measure each other's dicks." He rolls his eyes. "There's so many more fun things to do with..." Oops, Nomi. Nomi thumps Rex in the chest. "Don't be gross," they whine. "Sorry, Nomi," Rex apologizes. "I just mean, we don't need anyone else. Ever since we were kids, it's been me and Nomi here. They're my best friend. I love them like my sibling." Nomi smiles shyly and hides their face. "Rex is my best friend, too." "Aw, buddy," Rex coos and wraps his whole body around Nomi's smaller one. He kisses them noisily on the cheek, snuffling into their hair while Nomi shrieks with laughter again. "We were always the odd ones out on the heliopods," Rex says. "People thought we were weird, you know? You probably don't see it because everyone is so awesome here, but compared to all the rest of those smug, boring jerks, we really stuck out. But I'd rather be different than like them." He looks down at Nomi, who beams up at him. "And I got to be different with my best friend, which was awesome. We just hung out together and had our own fun, while everyone else trained to be proper little soldiers. Right, Nomi?" Nomi frowns. "Like Vase and all his cronies," they say quietly. "It wasn't all fun and games." Rex shushes Nomi and strokes his hand through their hair. "I know," he says, "but that's in the past. We don't have to grow up to be soldiers. We're here now, and there's so many more people to be friends with." He shoots you a smile. "Like Selene." And I would usually... Well, I'll flirt with Rex anyway. Maybe more than friends? Oh, minus with Nomi, friendship with Nomi. Whoops. Nomi grimaces and makes a yuck noise into Rex's shoulder, but Rex's smile gets even better. Well, I wouldn't say no. Oh, he's cute. Hugs incoming. Aw, yeah. I'll go get that friendship back with Nomi. Rex and Nomi are curled up together, his head on their lap as they watch something on Nomi's holopalm. Nomi pauses the show and Rex grumbles sleepily. He must have almost drifted off. Hi, Nomi says, scritching behind Rex's ears. "Do you want to watch Turbo Girl Hyperjet transform with us? We're almost ready to start the OVAs. Always good. Now, I do want to do more guard duty, but it gives friendship with Vase and not Anemone versus defense training, which does both. So I think I'll probably do a little more defense training until until I see the last defense training event here. Rain or shine, Rhett wants you to get... Just try that again. Rain or shine, Rhett wants you out there running laps and climbing walls. During wet, this is literal, and you get a lot of the former and not a lot of the latter. The torrential rains turn the colony into a mud pit. You struggle through your fitness exercises while being encouraged by Rhett, who just loves to remind you that life or death situations don't always happen in ideal situations. Five kudos of total equals goal. Another one of these. Maybe I actually have a chance now. Something like that, something like that, something like that. Perfect. Lots of kudos. Good, good, good. You're browsing the colony bulletin board on your holopalm over breakfast when you notice a new post from Nomi. It seems to be a short story. The title is Xenos to the Rescue. Oh boy. You open the story and read through it. Actually, you think you and Nomi did okay. Sure, the premise of talking manticores is a little shaky, and Nomi doesn't really spend enough time establishing the character's motivations, but it's still an entertaining read. You scroll through the comments. They're mostly supportive, if a little lukewarm, except for one. LMAO, this sucks! Xenos suck my sweaty ball sack! Great. Thanks, Vase. Thank you for your contribution. Midwet. So this is Vase's birthday. So we'll try to get some good friendship from him. And otherwise, doesn't look like there's a whole lot else going on. And that's that, right? Try to give him cake, maybe, for his birthday. Sweet. Vase cracks a small smile when he sees your gift. Birthday cake? He asks incredulously. Do you think I'm a child? Am I supposed to blow out the candles and make a wish now? But he likes it! Friendship up to 29 with him. Alright, so one more thing here, and that'll get him up to 30. I think I'm going to try defense training again. I want to keep up my friendship with Anemone as well. Something unexpected is waiting for you in self-defense class today. A fully grown manticore. When the shock wears off, you realize it's chained down so much that it can barely move at all. Its growling and chittering may be muffled behind a muzzle, but it still makes your guts go liquid in some primal fear. You walk over to Nem and Vase, who are standing a safe distance away. Nem seems leery, but Vase is considering it with his usual bravado. We're supposed to observe it and figure out its weaknesses, Vase says, leaning in for a closer look. I don't know. It doesn't look so tough like this. It's just an animal. A dangerous animal. A dangerous animal, Nem adds. Be careful. If it breaks loose... Vase scoffs and reaches toward the manticore. Instead of attacking, the chained beast flinches away and gives a high-pitched whine, trying to get away from Vase. You notice that it's bleeding from a bunch of places on its hind end, pockmarked with burns and scrapes. You've never seen a manticore look so pathetic. Alright. Don't want to do that one, because Vase won't like it, and I'm testing on animals, interesting. And I want to lean into whatever it takes to survive here. Working those muscles, plus 2 during challenges. Go work out instead. Let's try to poke that manticore. You walk up to the Xeno and place your palm against its heaving flank. It flinches away from you, trying again to break its chains, and lows in animal panic when it realizes it can't. It's warm and alive under your hand, shuddering with every inhale. You can feel its ribs. You and Vase pore over the creature, poking at it, inspecting it for any signs of weakness. At one point, you even look right into its eyes and feel a moment of vertigo so strong you almost need to sit down. Sodding cool, Vase mutters. It is cool. This is an incredible chance to get so close to the enemy. Nem eventually overcomes her hesitation as well, carefully running her fingers over its huge chitinous claws. Move out of the way, I'm going to give it a zap, Vase says, sparking up a stun baton. Rhett strides over. Don't kill it, he commands. Vase, step away and give other people a chance to take a look. Vase sulks at being reprimanded, and when Rhett turns away again, Vase kicks the manticore's side with his boot. It wheezes and clacks its teeth, scrabbling its delicate, pointed feet on the hard floor, and gets just enough purchase to lunge at Vase. It stops well short of him, but the shock is enough. Vase retreats a few steps, scowling and muttering that he's not afraid of a stupid animal. Ooh, it's hard to make some of these decisions. I'm going for a particular kind of play, but I'm always the person who, like, no matter what I'm playing, Mass Effect and Dragon Age and stuff, I can't make the choices that make people mad at me. It's hard. Alas. Stress over 50, straight so that'll be... something like that. trying to hit exactly 31 here. No, there. I'll take it. Friendship, etc., etc. That should unlock some new things with them. And this is Dis and Tang's birthdays, so I will give them some presents. Oh, and that didn't... 32... 90... maybe they have to be older for their next character events. They'll probably spawn next year. Tang barely looks up from her work. Is there something you need, she asks? I'm attempting to manifest a flow state, which is a perfect plane of uninterrupted mental stimulation. It's supposed to be quite effective for creatives and researchers. It seems you've remembered my birthday. How thoughtful of you, Tang says, accepting the flower with a dubious look. I'll set this flower aside to analyze later. I'm interested in the properties of all of autumnal flora. Hope you find it useful. She turns to walk away, then remembers herself. Thank you, she adds, almost as an afterthought. Always the same story with Tang. And you like these, though I don't have many of those anymore. He plucks at the roots for a bit, then his shoulders slump. Did you give these to me because it's my birthday, he asks. I actually hate it when people make a big deal about my birthday. It's, look, maybe you should go do something nice for Tang. She actually likes the attention. Still got the 4 friendship, though. It'd be interesting if his dislike of birthdays made it so that you actually didn't get the bonus friendship with him, but... where are we at? Right. So probably last month of Wet. I think we'll probably just keep doing what I've been doing. Oops. Do some more training. You use the Vert Space helmet to work on your situational awareness and agility. One of your favorite games is the one where you have to slice through fruits and vegetables as they fly towards you. Fruit Ninja reference. Alright, you don't mind training if it's this fun all the time. First collectible use is very interesting. +2 to cards with gems, I think, will probably be the thing that gives me the most points there. That would be a 5 if I did that. So if I do something like that, and then something like 43 points, 45 points, because that gives me the straight. And then, because the first collectible use is free, I'll just throw an extra +2 on there. And that should help guarantee me the highest possible score. Excellent. 5 combat. Sweet. 1 animals, all the friendship. And glow season. Theoretically, one more chance to give out some gifts, but again, I'm running low on my main ones. I'll probably give one to Rex if he's around. Save the others. I don't think he's even out during glow, though. Nope, doesn't look like it. So I think we'll just sort of skip all that, do one more training, and then we'll be ready for the attack. Attendance at self-defense class is always a little higher during glow. It's almost as if the imminent threat of attack makes people worried for their lives. Wonder why. Might not be the highest since I have that in my hand, but that's okay. I'd rather not take the extra stress. Oh, and that maxed out my combat. +1 to physical increases. Interesting. And now, the glow attack. You're lying in bed, staring at the wormhole through your window when you hear a deep thump resonate through the ground. Then a second one, quieter. The woven roof of your room quivers, unleashing a season's worth of fine, glowing dust to sift through the air. Through your open window, you hear voices sounding the alarm. The annual offensive is here, and leading the charge are two massive faceless. Join the fray. You grab a plasma rifle and report to the front, where a line of soldiers has taken up arms and is waiting for orders. The colony prepares to defend itself against the two building-scale faceless, as well as a teeming swarm of smaller Xenos that seethe towards you. Hold steady, orders Security Chief Rhett. Keep the line. No, Governor Lum yells, running from the front gates to the front of the defensive line. He elbows Rhett out of the way and waves his arms wildly. Bring them closer! Draw them in! Rhett stops himself from shoving Lum back, but just barely, you can tell. You serious? He retorts. We can't let them any further into the colony. We're going to fight them on our territory, Lum cries, raising his plasma rifle over his head with one hand. We have the walls. Let's use them. We'll let them come inside. Sorry, I keep clicking accidentally. We'll let them come inside and pick them off, one by one. We can't pick off a faceless, Rhett sputters from the sidelines. Lum smiles maniacally. You can see the gleam of his teeth from here. I have a plan, he roars. Just follow my lead. And with that, he turns and begins to run towards the approaching animals, roaring taunts and firing wildly into the fray to draw them close. What an idiot. Just an utter, complete imbecile. At a loss, Rhett motions you all to fall back and let the animals approach. The area just inside the gates becomes a swirling melee of smaller Xenos and plasma rifle fire, the two faceless lumbering slowly behind. Try to stay out of the way with special challenge or get in there. Interesting. I'm going to try to get in there, though that might result in some injury. Let's find out. -1 colony defense. In all the disorganization, you get confused. You fire into the melee, screaming and retreating when some creature gets too close. You mostly just make things worse. Oof! Then an explosion goes off nearby, and you freeze in shock as all you hear is a high-pitched whine. Out of the artillery smoke wafting over the battlefield, Lum comes running. Here they come! Here they come! He shouts joyfully, and plows through the gates with the two faceless galloping behind him. It's without a doubt idiotic and horrendously dangerous. You can't help it. You hit record on your holopalm and film the ensuing chaos. You catch a glimpse of Chief Rhett putting his hand over his face and sighing. A squad of Helio soldiers takes up the charge and helps shepherd the faceless into the open area in the middle of the colony. You have horrible flashbacks to the first time you saw a faceless inside these walls. From the looks on the faces of the other Stratos, you're not the only one. Then you're all thrown to the ground by a tremendous explosion. Fire engulfs the center square, roasting the two faceless in an inferno that blasts the sweat from your pores. Rocks and chunks of dirt patter all around you, with the occasional thunk of burning mushwood. Those soldiers nearest the blaze all recoil in surprise. Clearly, no one but Lum knew that the square had been rigged with explosives. You don't think anyone was caught in the blast, but it was close. Lum stands before the blaze, laughing and firing at the two tortured faceless as they roast to death. You raise your holopalm and capture the image, his silhouette dark against the column of flame and smoke. It was ridiculously dangerous and stupid, but it does look pretty cool in your recorded footage. People filter out of their hiding places, shielding their faces from the heat coming off the bonfire in the middle of the square. On the horizon, the first watery rays of quiet sunrise are struggling to make a dent in the hot orange glare. The colony's fire suppression system is turned on the square, revealing the charred corpses of the two faceless. Utopia walks by with a reclamation team, hauling an industrial plas cutter on a hoverlift. Did he use the mining explosives? Utopia says in awe. Mighty bold of him. Those things will blow a hole in a mountain. Or a creature, I suppose. She sighs. Wish he could have saved them from mining. That must have been the last of them, and we sure can't make more. Then she and her crew are out of earshot as they pick their way down the blasted crater to carve up the faceless for recycling. So I have enough colony defense despite everything. Is there a way to check that? I might need to go to the depot to check. But fortunately, it was high enough. Oh, we lost two, but fortunately the colony was well defended. You and the other colonists have been fortifying the defenses, putting security above all else. Tonight's defense was still a resounding, if messy, success. But if Utopia is right, we don't have any more of those explosives now. You can't just nanoprint unstable molecules like that. What are you going to do during the next attack? Alright, so obviously big bonuses to engineering that last year. Lots in persuasion as well. Oh, yes, just because I'm wearing the equipment, which I keep forgetting to unequip. Some in engineering biology. Certainly combat was the biggest one. Lots of friendship with Vase as well, which is good. That's what I'm aiming for. And now we get to start age 17, and look, we're all looking a little more grown up now. Yes, I says, your next run, instead of being delusional, you should just flirt with everyone. That's often what I do, Sai, which is always fun. There's a point where you can flirt with everyone until you have to potentially start making a choice to date someone, and then depending on who you're dating, that can affect who you're allowed to flirt with after that. For instance, if you're dating Rex, he doesn't mind if you flirt with other people, because he certainly keeps doing it. Alright, so we are 17 now, looking all growed up. Is there a poly penalty? There's no like penalty, I would say, but different characters have different attitudes towards polyamory. So Rex doesn't want to be exclusive. If you date him, I think most of the other characters are reasonably monogamous. Cal is definitely very monogamous. And there's a way that you can, as I recall, which is I think what I'm going to try to do in my my sort of best playthrough next time, is you can date both Sim and Dis in a 3-person polycool, which is cool because Sim and Dis definitely have a thing. So, got some events. It's my birthday this month, so I don't need to worry about that, but I should still hand out some extra gifts if I have them. Speaking of, some things to pick up. And then I'm pretty high stress, so I can't do exploration until I rest, so I'll probably spend a couple months just doing some other stuff. So yeah, let's just go around and talk to all the people now that they're all older and hot. Cal is taking a break in the shelter of the geoponics dome. As you approach, you see him tossing crumbs from his lunch into an area of uncleared scrub, and as you get closer still, you recognize the glinting of a Hopeye's iconic 4 eyes. Shh, Cal says, holding his finger to his lips. This one's got a little clutch of baby hop kitties somewhere. I've almost got her trust so she'll show me back to her nest, and then I can move them outside the walls. That's nice of you. Friendship is pretty good with you. I'll leave that for now. And Dis. Dis got hot. The soldiers are assholes, Dis says, scowling at a group of them just outside earshot. They stomp through the forest like they own it. They kill whatever they don't understand. They talk about how they're protecting us, but they're only making it worse. Probably true. You and Nomi are talking when they suddenly go quiet and look down at the ground. Seconds later, a group of Helio soldiers walk past you, ignoring you and Nomi entirely. Nomi picks at the edge of their sweater. Sorry, they mutter. Sometimes it's just easier if everyone pretends they don't notice me. That's sad. I don't have a lot of those. I wonder if they like flowers at all. I have extras of those. Just the one friendship. You brought me a gift? Just like because? OMG, Selene, thank you. Over the years, a lot of people have started wearing a lot less clothing than you remember from when you were growing up on the climate-controlled stratospheric. Definitely a lot less than in the holovids you brought from Earth. Rex, though. Rex has really acclimated to Vertamina's hot, sultry weather. Yes, he has. Take off your own shirt in solidarity, need empathy. Ow! Rex throws his head back and laughs so loud it echoes to the courtyard. Ow! He howls. You both giggled and lock eyes for a few seconds that feel like literal months. Eventually, Rex fixes you with a fangy smile and scratches the back of his head. It does nice things to his whole chest, shoulder, bicep situation. So you like what you see, huh? He leans in like sharing a secret. Me too, he whispers, then winks at you. Tammy stands on the stoop of the lounge, wrapped in a heavy shawl and looking off into the distance. Do you ever feel like you're just waiting, she says. I feel like I'm waiting, but I don't know what for. What's my friendship with Tammy? Let's get that up. Did I miss Mars? Is she up at the top of the stairs? Yes. I don't really care for aliens, Mars says, examining her nails. Why would I? Humans are far more interesting. And if the aliens are so cool, why don't they have cities already? She tosses her hair. Checkmate, aliens. Have you seen my delinquent brother? Tang asks, already agitated. He was supposed to appear for his vaccinations before leaving on expedition again. Dr. Instance messaged me, like I am his keeper or some such nonsense. She sighs and pinches the bridge of her nose. I am done minding him. If he wants to cough up flower petals for 3 weeks or whatever else you mind is out there just waiting to infect us, he's welcome to muck around and find out. Muck around and find out. Nice. You spot Nem playing darts with a bunch of other soldiers. She throws a dart and it lands clear in the middle of a faceless's, well, head isn't the right word, but the soldiers all cheer and clap her on the back. So I'm getting close to good high friendship with her. Yeah. Let's speed that along a little bit. I'll save one for her birthday at least, but we'll do one here. You're a hero, Nem says, taking the egg, and I'm starving. I'm gonna get the kitchen to cook this up right away. Oh, and I never gave Rex a stick. Hey, is it just me, or is everyone here, like, light speed hot, Rex says. Seriously, is it something in the water? Because, woo, dang. Rex lets out a little howl, then laughs, clapping you on the back. Present company included. Always good. Oh, another event with Rex. You spot Rex carrying supplies and big pieces of wood into the construction site at the end of the lounge, the future home of his bar. He waves at you, well, as much as a wave as he can do with his arms full of mushwood. Hey, Elaine, he calls out to you. Things are going great in here, thanks to you. It'll be done in no time. You take a look at what you can see. Rex has kept it all pretty well tarped up and hates letting people inside to peek, but you can tell it's big. Perhaps a little too big. Ambitious, maybe, for a first solo construction project. But Rex has had a lot of help from his crew and from the whole colony. He'd have to be able to find enough wood. I'd love to see it. Rex shifts from foot to foot. Well, he sighs, biting his lip, but you get the sense that he's dying to share it with someone. Okay, he says, but just for you. You follow him into the tent. It's chaos inside, littered with pieces of mushwood of varying lengths and covered in fine sawdust. Light coming through some gaps in the tent pick up all the little sparkling motes of dust in the air, making it seem almost magical. Rex spreads his arms. Well, this is it, he says. Well, so far. We have a bar and a dance floor. That's all you really need. He swipes open his holopalm and starts playing some music, then shimmies over to the only clear spot in the mess. That must be the dance floor, you figure, because he starts wiggling and bopping along to the music, gesturing for you to dance with him. Oh, sure. Rex cheers as you join him on the dance floor. He grabs your hand and spins you around, and you laugh and dance to the music coming from his holopalm. Moving your body just for the sheer joy of it feels amazing. You can see the future of this place, a place where people come not because they're stressed and need to relax, but where they can really cut loose and enjoy themselves. Rex had the right idea. Rex comes over to you and slings you into a one-armed hug. Just seeing you makes me super energized, he says. I can almost hear the music now. That's right, the bar's gonna have live music. You don't know who plays an instrument? I'm gonna work double time to finish this place. If you want to help, bring me all the mushwood you can find. Nice. Rex is chatting with one of the young soldiers from the Helio, smiling wolfishly down at her with his hand braced above her head as she giggles. When she sees you coming, her smile drops, and she beats a hasty retreat, avoiding your gaze. Rex turns, his confused expression melting away to delight when he sees you. Well, hey, Selene, he exclaims. Some of the Helios are weird about being seen with me, he continues, unbothered. She'll be back. Hugs incoming. Rex folds you into his arms, bending his whole body to you. He smells warm and a little spicy, like a clean sweat in sunshine. It's a good hug, the kind that makes you instantly just a little more relaxed. And now to Vase. Vase is in the garrison lounge, taking up a whole table with his schoolwork. The way he acts like he emerged from the womb armed to the teeth, it's a little jarring to see him doing something as pedestrian as homework. He sees you and waves you over. "Oh, Selene, you care about all this Xeno shit," he says. "Can you help me with this?" "Yeah." Vase flips the screen of his holopalm to face you, and you look over his homework. "Oh, yes, the questions are a little advanced, but you've learned so much through independent study that it's no trouble." You go over the first few questions with him. Vase listens attentively, nodding and asking intelligent questions. When he flips back to his worksheet, though, you can see he's already finished most of his homework perfectly. Wait, was he testing you? Apparently, Vase knows a lot more about xenobiology than he's letting on. He snickers at your shocked expression. "What, you think I'm an idiot who only knows how to hit things?" he says, teasing. "Not knowing anything about the enemy is the best way to get yourself killed out there." He leans in, a conspiratorial smile on his face. "I just wanted to see if you would help." It doesn't seem like the right way to flirt in this moment. You flirting? "You don't have to lie to get my attention." "Oh yeah," Vase says. "It worked, though." "You know," Vase says, "I actually thought this xenobiology bullshit was going to be hard. First thing I did when I found out I had to take a xenobee was go to that hippie Cal to see if we could work out a deal. You know, he does my homework, I get the guys to lay off bugging him about how he's a prissy little shit, that kind of thing." Vase scoffs. "Gotta hand it to the guy, he can get loud when he's angry. He said we're a bunch of violent, thoughtless thugs, and he hates us and everything we stand for. Can you believe it? He wouldn't be able to waste his time buggering float clouds or whatever the hell he gets up to in geoponics if it weren't for soldiers protecting his stupid ass. He can be king shit of Null Hill if he wants to be," Vase concludes, shrugging. "I don't need anyone's help." Alright, so I'm gonna need to collect some more strange devices soon, but in the meantime, know thy enemy. Keep getting that friendship up. So I've maxed out combat. I haven't quite maxed out animals, just 2 away. And then I can do more bravery as well. And I've almost maxed out friendship with Anemone, but not quite, so maybe I'll just do a little bit more defense training. Nim, you train your very hardest in self-defense class. Sparring with her is a lot of fun, but so are the quiet moments too when you're stretching out your sore muscles and she shoots you a big, satisfied smile. Okay. 43. Alas. It's your 17th birthday, but it's not just your birthday. Quiet is a time of new growth, a celebration of life and hope, not just for this year, but for humanity's presence on Vertumna for years to come. You and your friends are the symbol of that hope. Quite literally, you are the future of humanity. As you're all beginning to take your places as adults in the colony, the Council has decided to throw a party in your honor, the Vertumnan Youth Ball. Mars is organizing it, of course. You get an embossed invitation, on real paper, slipped under your door. Sure. I guess I could go. You slip into some party clothes and head over to the lounge to celebrate, well, yourselves, and yourself specifically. It is your birthday, after all. The lounge is all decked out. The decorations look expensive, must have taken a lot of nanoprinter crits. Your friends are transformed too. Everyone is dressed up and looking like the young adults you are becoming. You can hardly recognize some of them. Mars catches your eye and waves, her bangles jingling joyfully. She looks like a model from her holomags, every inch of her primped, painted, and perfumed. "Selene, happy birthday! I'm glad you could make it," she says, over the steady thrum of the music. "Drinks are over there. Make your song requests to congruence, and take off your shoes." You look down at your boots, then back up at Mars skeptically. She rolls her eyes and does a little bounce. "Sock hop, just like Earth, duh!" At the refreshment table, Cal is stuffing his face with party food, and Rex shoves 2 glasses of punch in your hands. "Gotta stay hydrated," he says, pouring himself another glass. "We'll be sweating it out one way or another." He winks at you. "Don't let them fool you," Tangent mutters, joining you. She smears a glob of something pink and meaty looking on a cracker. "It's a well-documented phenomenon that people inexperienced with imbibing alcohol will begin to act as if they're drunk, even if they're completely sober." To Rex, she adds, "I mean, of course, that I am not going to suffer any bad behavior." Rex grins as he pulls a flask out of his vest and pours a healthy addition into his glass. "Who says it's going to be an act? Let's get a little loose. Come on, it's a party." The music changes to something with a fast, pounding beat. Rex throws his head back and howls. "Woo! It's time to dance!" I'm gonna hang with friends. Rex and Mars take to the dance floor, joined by Nem and a reluctant-looking Vase. Oh, Vase went to the dance floor. Alas. You stay behind with the others to watch, still marveling at how mature your friends seem tonight. They've transformed, like grotty little grubs, into beautiful Dorbus moths. Dis shows up late and skulks around the outside of the lounge, eventually coming to pick at the food on the table. He keeps his distance from Tangent. As the dancing wears on, Tammy comes out with a great big tray of appetizers. Cute little bite-sized things with strange colored pastes and fancy garnishes. So grown up. It's a good thing you didn't go. You'd have missed this. Nomi, who's playing DJ with Congruence, spins up something a lot slower, more romantic. Grab a partner and pull him in close, they announce dreamily, or whatever distance you both feel comfortable with. Everyone giggles awkwardly and shuffles around, feeling the intangible friction of teenage politics. Who dances with whom? Who makes the first move? So who are my options? Nem. So it's all of the original Strato folks, none of the new ones. Or I can think about Sim, but I'll just hang out and watch, I think. Must one dance at a dance? Is it not enough to simply vibe with your friends? Tangent gives you a nod of recognition as you both hold down the refreshment table. At least two of us aren't interested in making fools of ourselves, she mutters darkly, indicating Nem and Vase all but climbing into each other's clothes on the dance floor. After the slow songs, Nomi spins Congruence's music library to something with a little more bounce to it. The dance floor once more floods with bodies ready to gyrate the night away. But the tunes are abruptly interrupted by Governor Lum's hearspeak hijacking the feed. He strides to the stage, flanked by Security Chief Rhett. Everyone on the dance floor whines in unison at having some buzzkill adult stop the music, but Lum just raises his hands and smiles indulgently. Look at all of you, he says. Young pioneers. I look at you and I see the future, not just of this colony, but of all humanity. You catch a few people rolling their eyes. You've heard this before. Rhett here, good man, a real good man, really, the best of the colony. Shared this poem from a great Earth poet, Lum continues. Now, I'm not one for poetry myself, but damn if it's not something I want to share with you kids tonight on the eve of something really big. He clears his throat and reads from his hollow palm. We cannot tarry here, we must bear the brunt of danger. We, the youthful, sinewy races, all the rest on us depend. Down the edges, through the passes, up the mountain steep, conquering, holding, daring, venturing as we go the unknown ways. Pioneers, oh pioneers. We primeval forests felling, we the rivers stemming, vexing we and piercing deep the mines within, we the surface broad surveying, we the virgin soil upheaving. Pioneers, oh pioneers. I will applaud politely. Rhett looks a little pained, but Lum continues. What do you think that poem means, kids? He asks. Does it mean we should sit here in our colony politely waiting for this planet to make a space for us? He clenches his fist evocatively in the air. No, he exclaims. It means we need to get out there. We need to grab Vertumna by the balls and make it respect us. He points at you specifically. I need you, the next generation, to lead the charge. This is your planet, and you're old enough now to defend it. I'm asking all eligible fighters to join squads massing at expeditions, to get out there and attack those monsters where they live. We're taking the fight to them. No more hiding behind our walls. To your left, Vase and Nem lead the cheering that erupts. Lum and Rhett leave and the music spins back up again, but only a few diehard partygoers still want to dance. Everyone else is broken into small groups to discuss the announcement. So this is something that I have never done in past playthroughs as well as go on these expeditions, but that is exactly what I'm going to start doing in this playthrough. After all, my parents and my old colony mates did me dirty a little bit, so I'm going to hang out with the Helio kids. I'm excited. You, Vase, and Nem are stoked. It's about time the colony stuck up for itself. Vase is going to report to expeditions first thing tomorrow. I'm going to go too, adds Nem, but Vase squeezes his arm around her shoulders. You've only been training for a couple years, Vase replies, but don't worry, babe. We need people like you to stay and defend the colony. Nem grumbles, but she promises to keep the colony safe. The party fizzles out as everyone drifts away from the lounge. You return to find your parents have stayed up to make sure you got home safe. You've never done that before. You've always been told the colony was safe. Now, you see their grim expressions, and you know that time is over. So, ooh, new perk. Animals level 3. Oh, awesome. So I can upgrade my pets. I don't think I've even gotten the do that. I haven't even gotten them to level 2 yet. So I will need to go rest, and I'll rest in geoponics. I still have some stress, but I might go rest immediately so that I can get out into the expeditions sooner. Sorry, I'm just checking. I don't think anyone else has a quiet birthday, but I wanted to be sure. Yeah. So I have those bonuses. That's okay. Oh, good. Conversation with Nem. Here we go. You're catching up with Nem. What's my friendship with her? Not quite 100. You're catching up with Nem between her drills when she looks over your shoulders and frowns. Newton's bloody apple, she curses, seeming to shrink behind you. She's here again. You turn, and at the other end of the garrison, you can see a small crowd of young soldiers forming around a chief steward, antecedent. She's handing out lunch tiffins and doling out hugs to anyone who comes within melee range, which is quite a few of them. You've noticed, just from hanging around the garrison, even some of the transplanted Helio soldiers have started calling her Auntie. This must be why. She comes by every couple of days, Nem grumbles. Like we're still kids in the creche playing in her skirts. It's so disruptive. Eventually, the crowd around Antecedent thins, and she makes it over to you and Nem. She greets you with a warm hug. She smells nice, like flour and yeast. Hello, Selene, she says. Have you eaten? I'm fine, Auntie. Let me switch out your water bottle then, she says, taking yours and giving you a full one. It's important to stay hydrated. Antecedent turns to Nem. You can almost feel the temperature in the room drop several degrees as Nem stonily stares down at her mother. Antecedent's smile grows thin, and she clutches the handles of her basket. How about you, Annie? Have you eaten? Do you need? Nem scowls and crosses her arms. I'm fine, she says, cutting off her mother. Just like I was yesterday and last week. I don't need you to manage me. If you're sure, Antecedent responds, hesitantly. It's a mother's job to worry, Annie. She reaches out to lay her hand on Nem's scaly cheek, but Nem jerks backwards and slaps her hand away. Oh yeah, Nem retorts. You just sit around and worry? Must be nice. Bet you'd like it if that was all I did too, huh? If I quit being a soldier and spent all day cuddling babies and wiping noses and fixing clothes like you did? Nice and safe in the creche forever? Yeah. Sorry, old colony crew. You don't belong here, Antecedent. Antecedent stares at you in shock, taken aback by your sudden change in tone. Beside you, Nem huffs triumphantly. I've never thought that, Annie, she says, laying her hand on her heart. I worry because I love you, and I always will. I'm just doing what I can to keep you safe. Love doesn't keep anyone safe, Nem exclaims, raising her voice enough that some of the soldiers turn their heads to watch. Her thunderous expression convinces most of them to get back to their business. Nem clenches her fist. Love didn't keep Com safe, did it? She says, her voice breaking. There's no amount of love or worry on this whole stupid planet that can do that. So you should just stop, okay? Stop, or do something actually useful. I'm never going to be like you. I'm going to fight. Oh no. Vase peels off from his unit and jogs over to stand beside Nem. You okay, babe? He asks, putting his hand on Anemone's shoulder. She covers it with her own and angles her body towards him. Yeah, everything's just galactic, Nem mutters. My mum was just about to tell me again how much she wishes I would give up being a soldier so I can pop out babies and be safe. Antecedent sputters, trying to explain herself, but Vase beats her to it. Anemone is an exemplary soldier, Chief Steward, he says calmly. I know it's hard for a mother to accept, but we're all much safer for her service to the colony. He puts one finger under Nem's chin, talking directly to her. And remember, Nemi, that we exist to protect people like your mother, to preserve the bond between parents and their children. Vase gives Antecedent a stiff smile. If the stars align, one day we won't lose any more sons. A soft "oh" escapes Antecedent as she blots her eyes. Oh, you are one of the good ones, aren't you? She says, clearly trying not to cry. Sure. Just walking in the footsteps of the good men and women who served before me, ma'am, Vase replies. We couldn't do it without you keeping the hearth lit for us. Speaking of, I'll take lunch if you have any left. Antecedent laughs and hands him a tiffin from her basket, and goes up on her toes to give him a quick hug. Over her shoulder, Vase shoots a cheeky wink at Nem, who rolls her eyes and snorts. Ah, it's tough. Tough. Friendship 99. Okay, cool. So, do I wait until her birthday to get that last point, or why don't we just do it now? Oh, I can't. I keep trying to tell myself that not everyone needs to fight the aliens, Nem says, looking up the colony road to the garden and geoponics domes. But I can't stand it when Cal talks about how we all gotta sing songs and get along. He's so stupid. Teenagers. Finally, we're going to actually do what we've been training for, Vase says, stretching his arms across his chest and shaking out his hands. He bounces on the balls of his feet. Me and my boys, we're going to salt the sodding earth out there. Just you wait. In 1 generation, there's going to be no trace of them. Just humanity, at the top of the food chain like we're supposed to be. Well, yeah, I guess that's the plan. Alright, so I'm going to go straight and do some relaxing to get my stress out so that I can go out on those expeditions. You hear a commotion over by the geoponics domes, the kind that makes you drop your shovel and sprint over there. There's a crowd at the entrance to the domes. Governor Lum, Rhett, Cal, and a handful of agriculturalists form a semicircle around the entrance, looking up at... Oh no, it's Socks. She's perched over the door, her back arched with fear as her great body grapples up the side of the geodesic dome. You can hear the glass cracking under the strain. Very interesting. She's clicking her teeth and emitting a scared, mournful howl from deep in her belly. You see your mother in the crowd and your stomach plummets. She's going to be so angry when she finds out you and Cal have been hiding Socks from her this whole time. Cal is between the mob and Socks, his arms spread wide. Please, don't hurt her, he cries. She's my pet. I promise she's not dangerous. It's an alien monster, Lum snarls. It's not a pet, it's the enemy. Chief Rhett, I command you to destroy it. Rhett levels his laser rifle at the dilly pillar. There's nothing you can do. You avert your eyes as Chief Rhett pulls the trigger, but nothing can block the scent of sizzling flesh or the way Cal howls in anguish. You hear the thump of the dilly pillar hitting the ground. You monsters, Cal cries. I raised her from an egg. She was sweet and gentle. You just want to kill anything you don't understand. Anything that's not human. Chief Rhett lowers his rifle. I'm sorry, Cal, he says. It was never your pet. It was a wild animal, and dangerous. One day you'll understand. Cal only sobs and presses his face to Sock's unmoving form, clutching at her fringe. You slip away, unable to watch anymore. Oh, those are hard things to do. Hard decisions to make for the narrative. Yikes is right, Sai. These are both good. I think I'm just going to keep them. But I didn't get my pet level up again. That's too bad. You spot Cal moving with purpose through the gardens. He stops and gives you a little wave. Hey, Selene. What are you doing? Cal stands up straighter, dropping the trunk he'd been dragging in the dirt, and wipes his hands on his pants. I'm taking this, he says. No one was using it anyway, and it belonged to Socks. He gestures to the other end of the trunk. Lend me a hand, will you? You and Cal manage to get the sturdy wooden trunk into Cal's quarters without much fanfare. Cal sits on the lid and runs his fingers over the many chew marks that Socks left there when she was a baby. At least it's not going to get recycled now, he murmurs, so I'll always have something to remember her by. It was for the best. For who? Cal says, wiping his eyes. For us? Because it wasn't the best for Socks. He turns away from you. Just leave me alone, Selene. I can't help it. I've been lobotomized, okay? Alright. Let's go exploring. What time is it? 4:30. Okay, I'm going to take a quick 2-minute break just to grab some water and stuff, and then I'll be back to do one round through at least of this new exploration expedition area that I haven't done before, and see what's there. This will be all new stuff for me, so I'm excited. But I'm going to take just a quick break here. Thanks for watching if you're hanging out. If you missed the beginning, this is our new Silverstring Media Twitch stream. We're playing I Was a Teenage Exocolonist, which is one of my favorite games from last year. And yeah, we're gonna come back in a bit. If you're new, please give us a follow. We really appreciate it. I would love to get up to that affiliate status. We just started a few months ago, and it's been a lot of fun, and we're hoping to do a lot more kinds of streams with different members of the Silverstring team. There's lots of info about us down in the About section of the Twitch page, so check that out. Give us a follow, and yeah, I'll be back in a couple of minutes. Cheers. Hello and welcome back. I found a cat. This is Taco. He just woke up. He wants out. Okay, bye. And on that note, we'll see how much he tries to bug me while I'm playing here. But welcome back to the stream. We're playing Exocolonist. I'm Lucas. I'm the studio director at Silverstring Media. We are an indie game studio, and there he is. We're an indie game studio in Vancouver. We focus on narrative games. We released our first game, Glitch Hikers: The Spaces Between, last year now, I guess. It is 2023 after all. And we're doing some streaming. We're playing as Teenage Exocolonist. I'm doing a sort of combat-focused fascist run at this point. Something that I haven't done before, despite having done previous playthroughs, but due to my parents effectively lobotomizing me in-game, I don't remember any of my past lives and the good things that I've done and the good reasons to do good things. So we're just going to be here defending the colony and being taken in by fascists, as it were. So we are going to go for an expedition. In-game is great clarification. Yes. Thanks, Sai. We are going to go for... Forge in the Village, Survey the Ridge. Oh, maybe it's in the garrison that we do the expedition. Again, I've never done this before. Relax, guard duty, no. Did I not unlock? The ability to do the new expedition, to go hunting. That should be in here. Maybe if I do one of these ones, that'll unlock it. So I'll try that. If that doesn't work, I might just reload briefly in case. Do a quick little save, checkpoint. No, you're just going to take me straight there. Does she have something to say? Here we go. You report to the expedition's tent to find not just Utopia, but Chief Security Rhett and Vase as well. Sorry, my cat is now trying to roll over onto his side on my desk, so I'm going to get his bed for him. Taco, in the bed. It'll be far more comfortable, and then you can be up here with me. Sit. There you go. There you go. Always becomes a cat stream at some point. Where was I? You report to when terrorists negotiate. Yes, exactly. Well, with cats, you gotta give in at some point. They're just so cute. They're just so cute. You report to the expedition's tent to find not just Utopia, but Chief Security Rhett and Vase as well. I just can't spare any more of my people, Utopia's explaining to them. You've already pulled almost all of the foragers, and we're already running skint crews in the ridges as it is. There's one person you can spare, Rhett replies, turning to face you. Hello, Selene. How'd you like to transfer onto one of my hunting parties? Utopia tells me you're one of her best explorers. We could use someone like you. He indicates Vase. I need someone who can keep up with this one. Vase puffs his chest out proudly. Sure, I'd love to hunt. Rhett nods. Good, I'm glad to hear that, he says, then turns to Vase. But first, I need to make sure you know the basics. Vase, bring out the Vriki. Vase goes over to a tent and brings back the Vriki on a long chain. I have a pet one of those. It's sprightly and bright-eyed, some might even say cute, and comes up nearly to your waist. Vase is seconds from death. Vase looks proud of his duty as monster bearer. I caught this one myself, Rhett tells you. I'm adding it to the training zoo, so don't kill it, but feel free to give it a few pokes. Then tell me, what are its weaknesses, its strengths? How would you defeat it in a fight? I mean, I know about Vrikis. I will just do that one. 10 kudos if total equals goal. Sweet. Do something like that and that. All cards become blue, so I'll save up some red cards here. do something like... That'll be a 5. That'll become a 6 for the purposes of the straight. That's tons of points. So I just need 17 more, and I already have 5 thanks to the amulet that I finally re-equipped. 13, 17, win. You study the creature for a long time. It looks nervous, skittering from side to side and making a clicking noise. You throw a stick at it, and it leaps up and grabs it in its mandibles. It angrily tears it in half, then glares at you. You think about your own pet, Ricky Ticky. This one is larger and fungi-like, maybe even close to the end of the mobile part of their life cycle. You know that one day all Rikis must take root and become nurse trees for the next generation. You rattle off some other facts you've learned from playing with Ricky Ticky, and Rhett nods. Good, Rhett says. Let's see if you're as good at hunting them as you are at identifying them. Come join the hunting squad next month, and we'll see how you do in the swamps. Alright, so now I've unlocked that. So in the meantime, I will just quickly do a run around the ridges. The main thing that I get to do here that is nice is pick up a bunch more collectibles, which will be good for continuing to give out gifts and getting those friendships up, especially with the folks that I haven't done that with before. Specifically Vase. And I probably won't be able to get a good friendship with Nomi this game just without, without doing the things that, the activities that Nomi likes. Yeah, it's interesting being friends with Vase when he's so obviously an asshole, but certainly it's the route that I wanted to go this playthrough as a change in narrative and see what kind of stuff opens up. But as I recall, it also is the only way to maybe help out Nem, because they don't have a very healthy relationship, the two of them. For once, you see Sim before he sees you. He's crouched just off the path. I wonder if you can make enough enemies to be banished. I don't believe so. But I don't know for sure. He's crouched just off the path, staring at a flower, his face blank. He doesn't react as you approach, so you watch him for a while. He's so perfectly motionless, you'd think he was a plant too. His eyes are unfocused. Is he accessing some kind of mental interface? Eventually, you clear your throat. Sim carefully stands up and turns to face you. For a moment, you're not sure if he recognizes you. Then he tosses his head, and a grin leaps to his face. Selene, you caught me checking in with the boss. The Overseer? Yes, the Overseer is still considering the human problem. In the meantime, I've been ordered to avoid engaging with you directly. Then why keep talking to me? Sim smiles warmly. Because you're the boy of my dreams. Literally, he replies. I can't seem to stay away from you. And because you humans are different, he continues. I'm so bored of everyone else on this planet. The other gardeners, my boss, they have everything on Vertumna just the way they like it, and don't want the teeniest thing to change. He sighs. It's boring. See that tree? Sim points to a large tree with many long limbs dripping from it, and embedded in the ground. That tree was a small creature for part of its life cycle. You call it the Freaky. Once it plants its roots, that's where it stays for the rest of its life. The gardeners spend time as trees too, sometimes hundreds of years. If you do that enough, you start to think like a tree, set in your ways. He spreads his hands, an earnest expression on his face. When I watch you, when I talk to you and learn about your species, I feel inspired. I feel young again. Wait, how old are you? I like to think I'm young at heart, Sim replies with a mischievous smile. You have so many more questions for this man, or gardener, or whatever he is, but as soon as you open your mouth to ask another, Sim cocks his head as if listening and holds up a hand. I'm sorry, he says, looking for all the world like he's listening to the dang flower, but I must away. But at that, he's gone, off to protect the wild, or rescue damsels, or whatever. Or maybe he's just avoiding your questions. But I can come back and give him a gift. Oh, right, I still haven't gone to engineering to get him the info. I wonder if I'll do that. Maybe when I get back. I can give him any gift because he likes everything and gives it back to me. Remarkable, Selene, just remarkable. You are truly the most thoughtful of gift givers. I have enjoyed your present to the fullest. You try to explain that he can keep it, but he just smiles again and shakes his head. So I'm just going to go around collecting collectibles, and then maybe we'll do some of these events. That said, think most of them are just going to give me stats that I already have largely maxed out. Other than bravery, I suppose. So I might also save my stress and not try to do too many of them. Ooh, this is an engineering one. I'll do that. Oh, I've done this before. Oh, that's +2. Something like that. Sweet. You find more scraps of convergent domain writing and technology. You document everything to bring back to Utopia. Let's do this one. You're back in the Wormhole Observatory with Dis just to poke around. Who knows what you might find? Explore at random. You bravely try all the elevators. Some are broken, one gets stuck for an hour and you think you're going to die in there, then it chugs to life. Then you find the orrery. It's a beautiful room under one of the smaller pyramids. The light from your holopalm glimmers off the crystals in rainbow colors, dotting the walls and ceiling in familiar constellations. There's one huge crystal plate embedded in the wall, engraved with deep glyphs. Convergent domain writing, you guess, and some kind of map? In the center is clearly a representation of the wormhole. Lines extend from the wormhole to other points on the map, and many more glyphs you can't read. The crystal is cut up into shards like it could move around, but it's still and dark and probably has been for thousands of years. You run your hands around the panel looking for a way to turn it on. Your hands encounter a slot. Upon further inspection, it seems to match one of the artifacts you've picked up in your surveying. You slot the glowing pick device into the slot. The crystal panes on the walls come to life, the glyphs on them glowing. They start to move in an unnervingly organic way, like melting into water and sliding over the surface, rearranging themselves. It's not just writing. The very surface of the panel raises and lowers like braille. The glyphs pulse and glow, the same swirly purple-pink as the glowing device, which you realize must be a power source, a convergent domain battery. It's like an orrery for the wormhole? This must be one of the best preserved bits of convergent domain technology you found yet, and an excellent sample of their writing. It's wild to think that the gardeners are another piece of old tech, just like this place. You're starting to piece together the glyphs of the converger's language. You can recognize the symbols for Vertumina, the wormhole, and converger, and basic verbs like being and going, and one that seems to mean bending or twisting that is used all over the place. It starts to get easier. You think your brief connection to the array must have left some of the converger's language in your subconscious. It's all so much to take in, and it's getting late. Better bring all your recordings back and let Congruence and the rest of the archaeology team crunch away at it for a bit. They'll be thrilled. Cool. Yeah, so I am gonna, I think, just head straight home now, save up the rest of that stress. So that I can go on the hunting expedition, which I haven't done before. You spot Dis about to head out on expedition. He's carrying a full backpack with a second one at his feet full of surveying equipment. As you approach, you realize he's writing in a notebook, an actual notebook with paper and everything, braced on his knee with one foot on his equipment. He looks up as you approach and closes his notebook, slipping it into the jacket pocket over his heart. "Oh, hey, Selene," he says, and tucks the pen behind his ear. "Are you coming cool? Are you coming too? That's cool. Maybe we'll be posted near each other." "What were you writing?" "Just stuff," Dis says dismissively. "I like writing on paper. It feels more real, you know? It's more private than having everything on your holopalm where people could find it." You beg him for more details. Dis huffs through his nose, but he looks amused. Just stuff, he repeats. How I'm feeling, what the weather is like, what people are doing around the colony. I like observing people. Sometimes I pretend I'm an alien, he continues, and I'm studying how people act so I can blend in. Dis thinks about this for a second. Okay, he says, taking the notebook out of his pocket. He wraps the elastic that keeps it shut around a section at the back and hands it over. Just don't look at that back half. It's private. You flip through the first half. Like Dis says, it's mostly mundane notes about things that are going on in the colony. Who's going where on expedition, what they're serving in the canteen, various snippets of gossip. There are several pages of sketches, what look like diagrams of the colony buildings and walls. You're surprised. You didn't know Dis could draw. Go for the secret section. I'll just get it back. You hand it back and Dis secretes it into his jacket pocket. See, I just like knowing stuff, he says shyly. He stoops to pick up the surveying equipment as Utopia calls for all hands to board the expedition vehicles. Then he's gone without another word. And first date of Pollen is... Apparently it's Instance's birthday. I don't know how you find that out. Oh, it's Rex. It's Rex's birthday. Conversation. You're looking for Rex by the construction site, but Rex finds you first. Tackle hug! You turn to the source of the yell. Rex is barreling towards you, arms outstretched. You have about 2 seconds to decide how to react. Leap into his arms. I'll keep flirting with him until I can't anymore. You ready yourself to launch into his embrace, catching a glimpse of Rex's delighted smile as he scoops you up in his strong arms. He lifts you off your feet and swings you around laughing. Hey-ho, Soleil, Rex exclaims. He holds you easily against his chest. What's a good boy like you doing in a place like this? Give him a peck on the cheek. Rex's cheek is warm and soft, and you can feel the curl of his smile under your lips. He sets you down on your feet, cups your face in his hands, and presses a friendly kiss to your forehead. Nice to see you too, Soleil, he says. You think you're starting to understand the strange Helio boy and his love of hugs. So, Rex asks, crossing his arms. Were you looking for me? What you need? Let's do something fun. Like what? I'm hot, you're hot, let's make out. Sure. Rex's eyes go wide and he bites his lip with his fang. Oh man, he says, rubbing his hands down his face in mock agony. I mean, obviously, yes. Hello, Soleil. Hit me up literally any other time. But I'm actually super stoked to work on the build today. He looks over his shoulder at the construction project behind him, then looks back at you with a devilish smile. If you want, you can come see what we're working on. There's lots of cool little private rooms and stuff. You follow Rex back to the construction site. He waves at the other workers and leads you to a half-built room that's almost completely out of their line of sight. This is the best I can do, he whispers, bracketing you against the wall with his arms. But honestly, it's kind of fun, right? He's right. It is kind of fun. Making out. Ooh, totally relaxed me too. You and Rex emerge from the construction site sometime later, rumpled and kiss-bitten and just a little bit contrite. The other construction workers tactfully don't take notice as Rex kisses you one more time and sends you off with a jaunty wave. You feel more relaxed than you have for weeks. Rex. Rex whistles at you as you approach, giving you a heated up and down with his eyes. Did you do something different with your hair? He asks, then leans in to sniff you. New cologne? No, is that a new shirt? Whatever you're doing, it's working for you. He makes a claw with one hand and growls sexily at you, then cracks up. Get some free friendship points and a nice little hug from Rex. Give him a stick. Oh, good. Good progress. Got some new crystals, so I'll give one to Nomi. Get that friendship up. Oop, and a new event. Nomi is in their usual spot in the lounge, surrounded by their steadily growing collection of body pillows and stuffed animals. They're curled up with their arms around a giant plushy creature and seem to be scrolling listlessly through the movies available in the Colony Media Archive. You okay? No, Nomi pouts. I've been betrayed. I finished all of Maid Stalker Ares and it ended on a cliffhanger. They tip over onto their side, clutching their plushie to their chest in anguish. I didn't know that the stratosphere had left Earth before the series finished airing, Nomi whines. You have every episode except for the two-parter season finale. They bury their face against the plushie. Now we'll never know how it ends, they sniffle. It's not fair that we'll never have any new shows to watch. This isn't about the new show. No, so I can't do either of these, which is too bad. Sounds rough, buddy. Yeah, Nomi says, not even looking at you. They clutch their plushie more closely and keep scrolling through the media archive. Aw, poor Nomi. Good, an egg for Nem. Wonderful. And what is my friendship with? Still only 99. Okay, well let's... Now that it's quiet, let's fix that. You catch Nem scarfing down some rations outside the garrison. I took a nap during my lunch break and I ran out of time to eat, she says. Too much to do. Well, here, have an egg. You're a hero, Nem says, taking the egg, and I'm starving. I'm going to go to the kitchen to cook this up right away. So that's maxed out my friendship with Nem. It hasn't unlocked the last event with her, so probably have to wait for some other events to happen. Maybe just another year or something to pass, or maybe something with Vase. I don't know, because I've never gotten this high friendship with Nem, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. I can give you more gifts, because I got a couple more of those. Know thy enemy. And that unlocked a new thing with Vase, because he's up to 41 now. You're walking through the garrison when a wall of trophies catches your eye. When you take a closer look, you notice that all of the awards are for various combat skills competitions. Vase's name features regularly on them. You hear Vase's heavy boot steps clang behind you. Heliopause's Star Brawler every year since they let me start competing, he says. He taps on the glass. That one, I had a bet that if I won, I could give away anything on the duty roster for 1 month for every opponent I knocked out. I didn't see a potato peeler for a year. He smirks. They stopped betting against me after that. Vase crosses his arms and looks up at the wall of trophies. He nudges your arm. Do you want to hear about the first fight I ever won? Of course. I know I don't look it, but I was a small kid. Wimpy, scrawny. I was always getting pushed around by the older kids. Well, one day those older kids decided that if I was going to play soldier, they were going to haze me like one. Vase snorts. It was 4-on-1, all of them bigger and stronger than me. But they underestimated me. It doesn't take a lot of strength to break a man's arm, Vase continues. He shoots you a look, holding your eye. He cried like a little bitch about it, too. His voice goes higher, mocking. Boo-hoo-hoo! He slaps you on the back. And you know what? It felt great. Holy shit. Yeah, so cool, Vase. So cool. Vase smiles wildly. Hell yeah, I am. I don't think he's marriage material. No, Sai, I think maybe not. I think maybe, I mean... Realistically, I want to try to get Nem out of there. It worked, though. That kid whose arm I broke, no one gives a shit about him anymore. He dropped out of the combat program, and everyone started including me in training exercises instead. And then when I hit my growth spurt, Vase throws back his head and laughs. Did they ever eat shit? Oh, yeah, the kid whose arm I broke. I don't think I've unlocked this conversation yet on the other side of things, but, that was Rex. ACAV, but especially Vase. Yes, absolutely. Vase reaches down and grabs himself between his legs. He winks at you. And thanks to Daddy Gentech, nobody doubts I'm the goddamn man anymore, if you catch my drift. Holy shit, Vase's augment is a big dick. That's something. Weirdly, again, it didn't update for me because of my memory thing, I think. But holy shit. Jesus. Oh my god. Let me think. What do I want to do? I did Rex's birthday, so I want to do that exploration. It is almost 5, though, so I'm probably going to wrap up soon. Maybe I'll start next session with this new expedition, and so in the meantime, I'm just going to quickly pop into engineering for one event in order to get that data for Sim. Oh, I can probably just do it. Interesting. Sim asks you for data on human culture, television shows, music, books, things like that. You have unlimited access to Congruence's media archives through your holopalm, but for Sim it will be a little more complicated. You'll need to find a physical storage unit with enough memory to contain a chunk of the holo archives. No, I'm just going to do one. The robot workshop, which would be a good place to look. You sneak in, nobody around. Good. You rummage around until you find what looks like a portable holo unit in a drawer, then find a port in the wall to plug it into. An interface pops up with options to copy data onto the tiny drive. Perfect. You start by carefully copying your favorite vids and games, then realizes there is a shit ton more room on this tiny device. You sweep in several thousand more vids, as well as the entire contents of the school's Learningpedia. As you slip the unit into your pocket, the Congruence console above you suddenly flickers and lights up. Congruence seems amused. She doesn't sound an alarm, although you know you shouldn't be in here, but asks in a neutral voice, "What are you doing in here, Selene?" "I just came to see you." Congruence allows her expression to show doubt, though she seems flattered. You chat for a bit, and she tells you to get out before you get in trouble. She seems to be lonely. Can an artificial intelligence get lonely? It's something you've never really thought about before. Interesting. Yeah, so I think just next, heading out on that expedition. But I do think I will save that for next week. Continuing the fallout of the wonderful things happening in this playthrough. Got my combat up, got my animals up. Gonna go murk some Xenos, I guess, with my good friend who's totally well-rounded and rational Vase. Not a problematic person at all, that friend Vase of mine. So that'll be fun. But thanks all for coming to watch the stream. I'm doing this every Friday. I took a break last week for the holidays, but I'm back at it. We'll continue this playthrough of Exocolonist next Friday, and we'll see what kind of massive amount of trouble we can get into, or what amount of trouble we can get the colony into, as it may be. But yeah, thanks for joining. If you missed any of the beginning or anything, I'm Lucas. I'm the studio director here at Silverstring Media. We're an indie game studio. Lots of information about us down in the About section, but we're starting to do some streaming. Started a couple months ago. It's been a lot of fun, so I'm looking forward to continuing. And I'm hoping to get some of the other team members to do some streaming as well. We've talked about doing some cool activities, some music, all sorts of stuff, as well as other games and whatnot. So thanks for coming by. Check out our game Glitchhikers: The Spaces Between at glitchhikers.com. And give us a follow if you haven't yet. We'd love to get our follower count up, get to affiliate status now that we've started doing this. So that'll be awesome. Thank you so much. And that's it. I'll see you hopefully next week, and we'll go hunting. Have a good night, everyone. Have a great weekend.